Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I am Mick Alphanine. All right, we're going to begin here. I want to get this out of the way because I was talking about this for the bulk of 2023. And I think it's very important to keep up with what's going on with the U.S. debt. Everybody's worried and concerned about interest rates, but not understanding the correlation between the sustaining of a higher interest rates, how that environment affects everyone's lives, and the skyrocketing national debt, that relationship there. When you have a skyrocketing national debt and there's no debt limit right now. You remember that they removed that debt limit, so they're able to spend as much as they want. Now, how, the question that we all must ask, how does that affect interest rates? And then once you start understanding that, you start to have this heightened awareness of, wait a minute, maybe, just maybe that's one of the biggest reasons why the Fed is saying, hey, there may have to be higher interest rates for longer. Not just because, it's what they want to do. It's something that's necessary. I don't think that they can, you can't get around that kind of spending. But anyway, you have this article here. Once again, it's from Peter Schiff. There's been many top minds who've been, talking about this. And this is one more thing that lends credence to a massive problem coming in the future, whether you want to call it a collapse. Something is disastrously wrong in the legacy system across the board. It's not just the financial system, although the financial system is out front, but something on the horizon has to either change or break. Is one of the other, is one of the two. But anyway, this article, I'm just going to read this little tidbit, then we'll get on to XRP news, a little XLM news, which, by the way, if you like this content, please smash that like button. That lets me know to keep putting in the hard work and digging things up for you. Also, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel and join the family. This article is titled, Peter Schiff Raises Alarm as U.S. National Debt Skyrockets, Predicts Record Increase in 2024. I think that's the easy prediction. If you just look at the spending that was going on in 2023, you can tell it's going to be record spending in 2024. It's unprecedented. I've never seen anything like it. Then it says here, the sharp increase in U.S. debt is likely to be the quickest increase within a short period of time. And Schiff wonders if the year will end with a debt or dollar crisis. This is something people are going to have to keep in mind. So you have this, and that's what I was saying before. You have, people don't have to worry about BRICS nation. Everybody was so dismissive of the BRICS nations, even though they're still working on what they said they were going to be putting together with that common currency and local currencies. They were so dismissive of them. Oh, the dollar is immortal. It's going nowhere. Maybe. But what the dollar doesn't have to worry about right now, what people don't have to be concerned with, is outside forces. What they should be concerned with is internal forces, right? The U.S. injures itself more than anyone else. I think that's quite clear, right? So with these type of injurious things that the U.S. is doing, that's why you have individuals like this trying to ring the alarm, even though people aren't going to pay attention to this, but they should, trying to raise or ring the alarm on a debt or dollar crisis. That's interesting. See, and this is why I'm a supporter of save your capital, protect your capital. I'm not a supporter of spend money here, spend money here, spend money here. No, not at all. I don't operate with that mind state. I'm very, very careful and meticulous with what I do with my capital, especially as a lot of us are moving into older years. You want to be able to enjoy what you worked for, right? So anyway, protect yourself at all times. So now we're going to move on here to a little bit of XRP news. All right. There's always some company building on the XRPL, pushing things into a new sphere. A lot of the times, people, like I said, they don't want to give them their credit. Ripple pushes into these new spheres. But it's very interesting because as I'm seeing Ripple push into these new spheres of business, right, which obviously they bring XRP to XRPL along with them, I'm starting to see various parts of legacy industry talking more openly about using distributed ledger technologies. And a lot of the times that the things that they're discussing have a direct correlation to the established utility coins, which we know the best of the best are the bank coins. There's no getting around it. That's just a fact. You can't get around the facts, right? I know a lot of people, I see the comments, a lot of people just want to dismiss the facts, but you just can't. But anyway, this article here is titled, well, part of it I take, I'm looking at, and part of it I'm not. It says XRP price set to spike as Ripple enters another $1.5 trillion industry. I don't know about the price spiking, but I do know that that's interesting that they're entering another $1.5 trillion industry. That's what I want to know about. What is this industry? How does it affect? How can it affect XRPL growth over time? That's what I'm looking at. All right. So it says here, global crypto payments provider Ripple is poised to venture into a substantial $1.5 trillion industry, signaling a potential surge for XRP. Like I said, I don't know about that. Everything has to be up and running for that price to go boom, boom, bang, bang. And in my humble opinion, for it to be as significant as people want it to be. So when they're just beginning, something, I'm not expecting it to be there to be some pop. I'm just being realistic. It would take time, right? But I get it. For an article, this makes it sound a little bit more exciting. I know, but let's keep going. It says the company is strategically positioning itself to provide solutions to the financial complexities within this industry. Okay, unveil what industry it is. Why are you dragging this on? It says in a recent Wednesday report published on X, formerly Twitter, Ripple, a blockchain-based digital payments network, revealed its latest expansion target to be the $1.5 trillion IT industry. Okay, there we go. See, just drop it on us. Get that out of the way early. We can handle it. We're not going to just scroll past your article. I want to read the rest to see if you have any more. It says the crypto network has envisioned a transformative role for Ripple in the IT industry, where difficulties with cross-border payments, there we go again, and other financial challenges have long persisted. Like I said, this is very interesting that it always seems like they're discussing something or doing something in a field where other experts from that same field around the same time period begin talking about these similar technologies, and it always makes me wonder, like, are these some of the entities that they may have partnerships with, deals with, but they sign NDAs with? It's just a thought. It's just a thought I had. And you'll see why when we get to some articles later, right? I just don't believe in coincidence. I just don't. Excuse me. It's a little roughness in my throat. My apologies, folks. It says here, quote, 97% of payments leaders believe blockchain and digital assets will have a significant role in enabling faster payments within the next 3 years. In our latest payments guide, discover how to accelerate. We know all that verbiage. We've heard that before. But this is very good. I want to see them expand into new territories. It says, while Ripple expressed its ambition to extend into this thriving industry, the crypto payments provider also outlined several ways IT service providers can utilize blockchain-based payments to overcome their financial problems. According to Ripple, by using blockchain technology, many IT services can easily streamline payments to suppliers overseas. Additionally, blockchain-based payments can effectively solve issues like slow and expensive international wire transfers, high transaction fees, restrictive banking hours, and lack of transparency. While Ripple anticipates the IT industry to hit $1.5 trillion by 2024, the crypto payments provider has also expanded its focus to other sectors. We'll get to that another time. Well, little by little, we climbed the mountain. So now, let's just get this little bit of XLM news out of the way. Just a little bit today, just a little bit. And then we'll go back into documents, PDFs and such, probably tomorrow. So this is from a Google search here. I just typed in Donnell Dixon News Today on Google, and then it pops up this little post here. And it says this is very interesting when you remember all of the information we've uncovered in the last few videos. It says here, sharing some musings in at Fortune Magazine's 2024 predictions. It says, my take, this is from Donnell Dixon, my take, Tokenization is here to stay. Now listen, who are they in deep with when it comes to tokenization that would have them speaking this way? Wisdom Tree, Franklin Templeton, the Bank for International Settlements, the World Economic Forum, the United Nations. So obviously, this sounds like someone who is involved in a business where everything's going well. It's going so well that it prompts this individual who's the leader of one of the biggest bank coins on the planet, right? One of the biggest bank coin companies on the planet, but prompts them to say that tokenization is here to stay, right? But wait, there's more. It says, my take, tokenization is here to stay, transforming finance for the better. So that to me, maybe I'm reaching. You can have your own thoughts. I'm not here to convince you, right? But that sounds to me like things are going really, really well. And it also sounds like, because these are 2024 predictions, it sounds like maybe, just maybe, they're looking forward or looking toward some major things happening in 2024. Why would they not? See, this is what people got to remember. With Stellar, Stellar has deep ties, connections in Europe, right? Just one little example. Deep ties in Europe. They have deep ties all across Asia. Very deep. And you're having regulations roll out in both of those regions in mass, possibly in 2024. So I think Stellar knows, like, hey, wait a minute. A whole lot of other business opportunities about to open up. A whole lot of other deals we may be able to announce. A whole lot of other areas we may be able to play in once those MiCA legislations and all of these other, all this other clarity and across Asia also is unleashed. And there's so many things going on. And then on top of that, they have this huge backing from all of these powerful companies. Just in my humble opinion, the way that Danelle Dixon has sounded has been very, very positive. It sounds like big things are on the horizon, in my humble opinion. Now, back to tokenization. Keep in mind, with all of these companies they're working with, I believe it was Stellar, Ethereum, and someone else. But Stellar was at the top of that little top three when it comes to assets that have been tokenized on chain, which once again, if you keep that in mind, will tell people that these big companies like to use Stellar. And when you look at the relationship that they continue to build, go back 2 videos ago, right? That XLM video, not the one yesterday, the one before that. That chapter had a Bank for International Settlements document in it, where in that document, they reference, you could just go right to that chapter. They reference Ripple and Stellar again, which shows that they have the respect of the biggest, most powerful bank financial entity on earth, right? That means that the doors are open for them. There's just these little barricades in the way. That's it. Just these little hiccups that with time, you can see that they're being removed. So what happens when they're unleashed, right? This is where my thoughts always go to, right? You have your own thoughts, obviously. So now we're going to move on from there. Okay. All right. So things are looking good in my humble opinion with Stellar. So now I'm going to go here. Now this article, if it will actually load up, is from payments.com. Now this article is titled Unlocking Trapped Liquidity, right? Now, if we scroll down this article here, there's a section titled Cross-Border Liquidity Bottleneck. Let's read this little tidbit here. It says international expansion can be particularly challenging for the small to medium-sized businesses that could reap the benefits from the growth. And this is something I was trying to convey to people for the last 2 years. Now, I do like to focus on the banks when it comes to XRP XLM Algorand. But if you've been here for a long time, you know I used to talk extensively about the small to medium-sized businesses and how they could benefit from XRP-based systems, Stellar-based systems. They need it badly. All right. Not only do they need more capital to play with, they need more regions to open up to them to be more easily accessible as far as moving products, tracing products, moving capital, receiving capital, all of that needs to be made easier. Contractual things, you can do wonders with smart contracts. There's a lot of advancements that are going to be made. Artificial intelligence, deploying basic artificial intelligence measures via the distributed ledger technologies. Like there's so much that they could benefit from, and for cheap. That's another thing, for cheap, because it's been a harsh time for small to medium-sized businesses. It has. A lot of them have been closing down. A lot of them have had to minimize the portion of the product that they're issuing to the people, right? While raising up the prices, right? So you get less for a more expensive price in order for them to try to survive this insane economic landscape. So you can see the desperation is there. The need for something better is there. And when we have across the board clarity, which maybe we'll get that in 2024. I'm keeping my eye on that, right? But if we can get across the board clarity where the businesses and the banks and everybody can now feel comfortable playing in the DLTs the way that they want to, then it would unleash a flood of capital and opportunity. It goes both ways for the small to medium sized businesses. And a golden era could open up for these small to medium sized businesses like never before. But let's read a little bit more here. So that's something I'm keeping in my mind when I think about Stellar Unleashed, when I think about Ripple or anyone on the XRPL Unleashed, Algorand Unleashed in the United States. There is so much opportunity in the United States that people just don't see it. But that's okay. We don't really need them to see it, right? So Payments Intelligence reported earlier this year that only 23% of smaller businesses say that cross-border payment solutions are, quote, very or extremely satisfactory. Only 23%. It says part of the reason is that the need for correspondent banking relationships, as well as the long settlement times, inherently locks up much needed working capital. See, so that's going to come in and play with the small and medium-sized businesses, just like it will for the banks and the large businesses as well. It says, if businesses don't have a cash cushion to work with, remember I was talking about a liquidity cushion, we can bring this to so many institutions. Never forget that liquidity cushion, the cash cushion, however they want to put it. That's going to come in handy later. It says they are effectively shut out of international expansion. Remember I was saying that it's not just small, medium-sized businesses, small banks, medium-sized banks. Everybody wants to expand. They cannot expand in the way now that they will be able to later with our technologies. Remember, we unlock a certain doorway for them that the legacy system never has and never will. This is why they're going to lean towards us heavily, have been leaning towards us heavily. There's just these legacy system blockades up. That's it. And this is one of the reasons why, because we can dominate in so many different ways. Whether that happens or not, we will see in time. Okay. I don't have a crystal ball, but I just know the way that things are leaning, and they're leaning positively right now. It says, quote, this core problem is how long it takes to move money across borders. You're being charged serious rates to move money across borders. And you also have an inability to track those payments. Bob was just talking about that. And no, they've arrived with certainty, unquote. Brooks Entwistle, Senior Vice President of Global Customer Success and Managing Director at enterprise crypto solutions company Ripple, told Payments. Wow. I didn't even know they had a quote from Ripple in this article. I didn't know that. So that's interesting. You see, Ripple and their representatives they're making their presence felt everywhere. I like that this is an article. It just came out January 4th, 2024. It's titled Unlocking Trapped Liquidity is a Holy Grail for Cross-Border B2B Payments. And I like it that a prominent website, and I believe payments.com is highly respected. They reached out and their first quote they got was from Ripple, XRP. So that tells you we're in the big leagues. We're in there. It's just a matter of time. Right. So now I want to get to this next article because I thought these were really, really telling. So now this article here is from bitcoinmagazine.com. Also interesting. And it's titled, you see how these new industries are opening up? See, only you and I will know about these types of things. A lot of other people will never know the opportunity that's on the horizon as crypto comes out of its baby stage, its nascent phase, right? Where it's all speculation, it's all about meme coins, it's all about these quick pumps and dumps, and really that's what's happening. It's going to move out of that to a more stable environment where the capital is higher, the money's higher. Yes, it's more stable, but a little safer. And that safety, see, this is what people are not understanding. That safety is going to bring more money because people are going to be more willing to play with something that's safer, right? That's logical. So now, this article here from bitcoinmagazine.com is titled Instant Settlement, the Logistics Industry. So now we have the logistics industry opening up, but it says this here, which once again, if you haven't already, please smash that like button and also subscribe to the channel. Join the family on our march to 100K subscribers. It says this. The adoption of instant split payments in the logistics industry will significantly alter the incentives for all delivery workers. A key transformation is the shift from receiving compensation solely for time to being actively engaged in each payment related to their deliveries, similar to how companies receive split payments with each entity getting its share. Every individual in a delivery company involved in moving the product can now receive their share too. The funds received by the delivery company will be split further, ensuring that delivery personnel are paid for their specific contributions. It says, in this new paradigm of instant split payments, delivery workers will be incentivized to use their own vehicles for product deliveries. Remember I said I believe the DLTs could have a huge hand in shaping the future of and they're not phrasing it this way, but I phrased it the gig. It's like a gig economy. You know, like people they do deliveries for like what are those companies? Like they go shopping for you. But anyway, like the companies that go shopping for you, deliver your food. They'll pick you up and drop you off, things of that nature. Like I don't know what is the actual terminology is, but I just call it the gig economy. Like everybody's doing these gigs, but I think that we definitely have a huge hand in that, huge hand. And they've been having some harsh times. So they're looking for something where they can save capital, make more capital, have more traceability, have more control over their destiny, for lack of a better word. But it's all about instant settlement in 2024 so far, right? It was all about instant settlement with a lot of these different industries. Instant settlement, having liquidity, speed, traceability is something that all of these industries seem to be looking for. And who has what they need? We have what they need, right? It's just a matter of time, having more across the board clarity, and then waiting for that moment when everything is unleashed. It says it says instant settlement, the logistics industry. Let's scroll down here. Notice how they sound very, very much like blockchain, how DLT sounds. They even talk about decentralization here. It says the introduction of an instant settlement system with split payments has the potential to decentralize various aspects of the delivery ecosystem. So decentralization will continue to be something that is a hot topic into the future. It says, number one, decentralization of delivery companies. Number two, decentralization of income for delivery personnel. Number three, decentralization of option for buyers. So this is going to get interesting very quickly. I'm going to keep my eye on this. I'm going to do a little bit more research to find out if there's any, DLT companies getting involved in these industries here that are looking for instant settlement and such. All right. So now let's close out here. We're going to close out here. I had two more articles. I'll post those in the members only section. Okay. So this is from fxstreet.com and it's about gold. I'm never worried about gold. Like I love gold. I love a lot of commodities, gold, platinum, silver. We haven't talked about oil in a long time. We haven't talked about wheat in a long time, but we dabble in a lot of things. Wherever we can make the money, that's where we go here. We're not locked in. You know, we're not locked into only crypto. We have some stocks. We play in a lot of different areas, but they've been meticulously set up over the years. It's just that people see the headlines and they think just maybe we're only into XLM and XRP. That's not the case. Not at all. Not even in crypto. We have quite a few cryptos, but they're well positioned, well placed, meticulously chosen. But let's end off here. This is a little bit of gold news. It says here from fxstreet.com, gold price dived to a 1.5-week low on Wednesday in the wake of rising U.S. Treasury bond yields. I tried to put some articles up in one of the last videos showing a little bit of information about U.S. Treasury yields. The 10-year yield was about to press up on 4%. And that was because a lot of people don't want to buy those bonds. And so what happens when they don't want to buy bonds? The U.S. Treasury ups the yield to try to bring people back in. That's just, it's a good strategy on their part. Bad for everything else, but let's keep going. U.S. Treasury bond yields and a stronger U.S. dollar. The U.S. bond yields, however, started losing traction after minutes of the December 12th to 13th FOMC meeting reflected a consensus among policymakers that inflation is under control. You believe that? That what your experience is? It says, and concerns about the downside risk to the economy associated with an overly restrictive stance. Well, they have a double-edged sword that they're juggling right now. Because on one hand, as far as energy and food, no, I don't believe that inflation is under control. That's not what I've been seeing. But they negate that little bit of data. We all know that. It's very deceptive, in my humble opinion. However, on the opposite side of that, the other side of the sword is a deflationary environment that they do not want to deal with. That's why they have to be very careful, especially cutting rates, because if they do the wrong thing, make the wrong moves, and they've already made many wrong moves, that deflation will be devastating. It says here, this, along with geopolitical risk and China's economic woes. Yes, there's a shadow bank. People better pay attention. There's a shadow bank that looks like it's going down for the count. We'll see how that affects everything. You type a little Google search, China shadow bank. I'm telling you, you're going to see those articles, okay? It says, allow the safe haven precious metal to attract some buyers near the $2,030 area. We're still sitting pretty, my word. It says, and gain some follow-through traction on Thursday. I'm never worried about gold at all. And now that we're in 2024, I'm keeping a close eye on those banks, right? They go down, gold skyrockets beyond belief, but we'll see. You know, they're doing a good job as of now propping the banks up. They still have that emergency fund going. I haven't heard that they shut it down yet, so the banks are still able to borrow if need be. They're propping them up a little bit. So, you know, we'll see how all that works out. So now that you have that information, what are you going to do with it? I know what I'm going to do with it. So until next time, everybody, let's get to the money.